Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data, and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Woo woo. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I've got your favorite girls, Brandy Howard, Julie Goldman of Dumb Gay Podcast. We are going to get into so much. First, let's talk about the fun weekend we had together, celebrating my beautiful niece, Haley Goldstein, Shannon Goldstein, attorney at law's daughter, had her high school graduation, and you guys came, and we went to the local. And
it was fun. It was so fun.
It was
we
so
love
fun.
the local, by the way.
So fun.
The best frozen drinks in all of Coachella Valley.
Honestly, that place has great food and great drinks.
No, that is for real.
And
I got drunk within 2 seconds.
Me too. And then we relaxed in the pool, and then we went out to dinner, and then we went to the Red Barn, which was also a crazy night. Fun.
Where we skipped a huge line, longer than like an In-N-Out line.
Around
You skipped it, and what got us right to a booth.
It was
I don't
the
want to
best.
sound privileged. I actually know the owner from college. Okay, so there you go with that.
Well, there you go with that.
There you go with that.
It still
So
felt...
you get old enough, and you actually know people that then own the establishment. And I know the owners of the local too. So it's only because it's not because I'm flashing my Juicy Scoop titties around. Okay,
Well-
that's not why we're getting special treatment in La Quinta, though we are delights to serve.
Well, still, it was great.
It was
There's
VIP.
nothing more I love than getting to the front of a line. I'll be honest with you. It's true. I like it. Priority boarding on the flight. I don't care. Normally, I always feel bad. I feel bad about everything. I'm constantly feeling bad about everything.
You're an empath.
Okay?
You're an empath.
I'm an empath. I just feel too much, and I love too hard. But cutting to the front of the line makes me feel alive. I love it.
And they're so fun, so great.
Then we got a VIP tour. And you know it's a banner night when you get in a fight with your Uber driver. Or you just get... We actually didn't even get in a fight.
Nope.
We got yelled at, and Heather had to like play mommy.
because I was in the front seat.
Heather was in the front seat, you guys. So
And she
that's
made
what
sure...
That's what good friends we are.
That is right.
That Heather
Right.
had to sit in the
front
seat.
seat. And she showed her mommy, wifey, takey carry of side by making sure that driver didn't get murdered that night by myself.
We had the two of you, but then we also had McKinsey and her boyfriend, but they were behaving.
Yes.
You got, it was just literally like Julie got yelled at for rolling down her window to get some fresh air.
Yeah, yes.
So it was just one of those things, and I was like, you know what, it already took 19 minutes to get this car. I'm like, oh, yes, I totally understand. Yes, going along with whatever. Oh, of course we will. And the time before it, when we were coming back from the Nest, which was so great, I had a girl that was telling me that that I should email her about getting a copy of her free book. And I was like, okay. And because I was buzzed, I was like, I don't know about that title. You won't be able to get into Target. And she's like, I don't want to be in Target. I'm like, okay, whatever. If you want to sell books, you might want to. So I'm like, meanwhile, our guests that night were like, oh, we had this Uber experience. And he goes, oh my God, we had the greatest Uber experience. We got in the van, and the guy turned around and handed us each a mic. And for the 20 minutes back to our house, they got to do karaoke in their Uber. And meanwhile, I was giving book advice in which I have to do the follow-up.
Exactly. Now you have a job to do.
What
to
the hell?
read this woman's book. Meanwhile, 13 different producers are right now jotting down notes for the TV show of the guy who does the
Exactly.
Uber karaoke.
That's right. That's Carrot Carton. Oh,
Yeah.
God. And you also had to talk down Cuckoo Boo Boo from a ledge from I just speak out love too much. I just want to, you know what? I just like to spread love. Can you shut the window?
Yeah.
Like, I just,
I'm a positive light. She said I was a positive light.
I like to just keep things positive. I need you to shut the window, okay? I'm doing it for your own good.
And she was like, I remember her name and I'm not going to say it, but let's just call her Kelly. She was like, hello, my name is Kelly. Whatever you are in Kelly's Uber, this is Kelly's Lyft or whatever
Yes,
we were
Lyft,
doing because I always do both apps. And I was like, okay, like I was like, God, just get us home. Anyway, if you know the person that does the karaoke Uber in the La Quinta Valley, I will
Amazing.
be there in 2 weeks, and I would like the number to that person, and I'd like to set it up because I want that person
And to have
for
them
my
all
ride
night.
home from the nest.
have
Just
them
be
all
like,
night.
I'm
Or
going to
Red
hire you
Barn.
all night,
Yeah.
and then I'll never have to go to a karaoke bar, which always ends up kind of being like, why did we choose to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
you need 20 minutes,
That's all you need.
just enough. Also, I've said this over and over again. Cut the songs, karaoke people, cut the songs to 2 minutes.
Yes.
By the time we get to the second verse with like the instrumental, the singer is tired and the audience is
When
tired.
the 2-minute instrumental break comes in and everyone's like, oh, come on. And then now the person's just dancing.
And they always have to be like, instrumental part. You always say it.
Yes.
You always have to say it.
Yeah, and they're like,
Uh-oh.
and then
No lyrics now.
So, but a 2 minute, cut it down to 2 minute, and the person can dance, has the energy, you know. This episode of Juicy Scoop is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.com is one of the most downloaded travel apps in the world, and that makes it the place to list your vacation rental. I know a lot of you guys have extra homes that you rent out and want to make money on and make a big business out of it and make it convenient. That is why you have to list your vacation rental on Booking.com. For the bookings you've dreamed of, list your property on Booking.com.
What a dream.
Also, last night we went to Nobu because Peter and I were
Oh.
celebrating 25 years
Well, congratulations
of
and mazel tov
sticking
to you.
it through.
Wow.
And keep carrying on. And lots of fun, lots of love, great children, great family, great
Were you
friends.
two
We are
alone?
lucky. Yeah, just the two of
For
us.
your anniversary.
We were just the two of
I
us.
don't know if I'm speaking out of turn here.
Which you wanted to have been invited.
But to your love, to speak to your love.
Oh.
Yes.
Now, Peter wasn't with us
Yeah.
because we were just like trying to like be like desert sluts as we do.
Yeah.
But right when you got home, Peter was doing work around the house.
Always work around the house.
And you did send us a video and he was shirtless.
yeah, shirtless.
Because you were hornballing on in the backyard
It was
to your
Memorial
own
Day.
husband.
It was Memorial Day. Yeah, we're having some fun. Also, when I got home, he'd set up a coffee situation because we have a 2-story house. So that was also my anniversary gift. Is now I can
Oh.
have an espresso coffee, just like George Clooney, in my bedroom before I even have to go downstairs.
Oh,
So I feel like pretty amazing. Here I am.
it was a nice night.
I decided to wear a white dress like a little wedding girl.
Oh, that's
And-
nice.
yeah. And very fun. Okay, speaking about a couple that we don't think has a great marriage. This is juicy. Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron's. Now, to remind people, this is the president of France. He is like 18 or 23 years younger than his wife.
Mm-hmm.
He met his wife when she was a 39-year-old married teacher of 3, and he was a student at the school.
I believe he was 16 at the time.
The stories has changed that maybe they just met, nothing happened.
Right.
But shortly after she got divorced, he went to college, and then they have been together ever since. There are also stories coming out of other content creators that believe that Brigitte was maybe born as Brad. I don't know. And that is, in fact,
God.
That has become like an internet,
God,
like
they
an
love doing
internet
that.
thing.
what's
And then,
like an urban legend about her.
yes. And, you know, there's videos of her speaking, wearing tight jeans where it looks like there is something in it. There is stories that to go even further with this conspiracy. And I'm not saying it's not true. It could be true. Don't yell at me. I'm telling you what's out there. That she is in fact his father. Okay.
I mean,
That
Wow.
somehow
Come
there
on,
was a
Jesus.
missing child in the
Uh-huh.
family that was a boy that we no longer saw, but then came back as the girl. And then somehow there was a illegitimate child. I don't even know, but I know people have enjoyed the rabbit hole of it. But what happened was he was getting off his presidential plane
Mm-hmm.
and the guy opens the door like for him. And then you see him about to walk out and he turns to the side to say, you can see it's the wife because she's wearing a red blazer and you see her red hand. And she like grabs his face like this. She doesn't smack it. She grabs it like, and then he goes back and then they come back out and they're like, and so they have said, oh no, we were just joking. Like, oh, shut your face, you sexy thing. My son. I don't know.
Listen to your father.
Yeah. But I mean, everyone picked it up because it was juicy to see like a physical thing like that. That was undeniable that the wife did that to him.
Right.
What that was about, what their playful thing was. If she was like, I told you have food right there, we don't know what it is.
Or maybe she was like, I'm sick of you fucking everyone around town. Don't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're French. Like, let's get into it. Let's get into it. I'm sure she slaps him every day.
Maybe
It's giving the elevator with Jay-Z and Beyonce, though, when they all came out at the end and they were all like, and again, it was like it hadn't happened.
Yeah.
So you have no choice. You get in those fights and then you're just like, everything's fine.
Right.
That reeks of he did something. I mean, that, you know what I mean?
Or they have one of those relationships.
Well, yeah.
But also, okay, say she was just a woman. She was just doing a, Mary Kay Letourneau situation. I mean, there's a huge age difference there. It might be a very motherly relationship, even though he's the president, and she still might be like,
yeah, maybe
shut your face, like scolding him.
Well, he might be like, maybe he's like the secretary where that's what he wants.
But do you imagine if we saw a president's hand reach out to his wife's face?
No, that's why this is so good.
Yeah, it's juicy.
Because it's the woman.
It's juicy. Or the man or the father. We don't know.
I can't believe his father's still doing that to his face after all these years.
Also, I know you guys, if you want the politics show, go to Dumb Gay Podcast.
Right.
But I have to say something because this is about reality.
Yes.
So, breaking news, Todd and Julie Chrisley of Chrisley Knows Best. To remind you guys, he was the patriarch of a very fun family. It was a reality show. It's coming back. They just announced it was coming back on Lifetime, which I don't think it was that. No, it was on TBS for years.
TLC, right? Oh, E. It was.
I thought it was TBS.
Wow.
And then switched to E. I don't know. It's on Lifetime, so I think it's with a new network. And they said we're starting the show, and it's about the older daughter Savannah, who, by the way, Savannah is dating this guy whose wife is accused of trying to have him killed with her lover. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Savannah is dating this guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's going through a lot right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there was an attempted murder on him and they tracked it back to his wife. They were like college sweethearts in the South.
Wow.
And her boyfriend, that's like a young guy.
Oh, now we're into that, like that tabloid movie or that movie where she had the kid killed, Nicole Kidman. Go on.
Yes. And so he's not that young. He's like, they're like 40 and the boyfriend's like 30. And so he's going through all that. It's filed for divorce and everything, has a couple kids. In the meantime, he's dating Savannah. Savannah and her brother have been saying over and over that our parents didn't deserve this sentence, but also the situation in the jail is horrible for both of them. So they're in separate jails. Obviously, they're a man and a woman. One thing really interesting about Todd Chrisley is
he's in the closet.
Is that what you were going to say, Heather?
And he actually likes it there. And he's having fun.
I think
the most fun he's ever had.
I read the report.
Imagine he was bummed about it. No, of course he would
I
be
read
bummed
the
about
report
it.
that he said there just wasn't enough hot guys in his jail. And that was the issue.
I'm sure. And yeah.
And she said it was too hot. She said there wasn't air conditioning for her. This was one of those cases that, I going to tell you the best of my memory. I cover a lot of stuff, and it was a thing with a couple people that they worked with, basically turned on them and went to the government and said that they were doing all these like
It's like tax evading.
weird things. And it did appear from what I got that a lot of their businesses and wealth were obtained in a very griftery way to appear to be richer to have a reality show.
Mhm.
Oh, they own a department store. Oh, they're fashionistas, whatever. And then when they got the reality show, which was a very kind of slightly scripted reality show, or it felt, I don't even think we were supposed to believe it was a reality show. The only thing that was real is that they were playing themselves. But the scenarios, he'd be like, oh my God, Julie, if I don't get on you and release my manliness inside of you, stop with these kids and grandkids. I need my wife. And like, that would be and then they'd be like, where are we going to do it? And then the camera would find them like trying to get into the closet. And the kid would be like, where's my peanut butter and jelly sandwich? And he's
That's
like,
the one place he knows. He knows where that is. He knows exactly where that room is. I mean, God damn.
So, according to Trump in the video I saw, he felt they had an unfair sentence. However, they have been there for a couple years. So regardless how you feel, it's not like they got off. They've been there for a couple years, and he pardoned them, and he did it. And Extra had the exclusive of him calling Savannah, and of course, Savannah and the older brother, and they are raising I think
The little sister
and like
or the grandkid.
and a grandkid. Like
Maybe
because
Yeah.
there's somebody who has a child and the mom's not involved, so they have that person, and then they also have their youngest brother who's like a teenager. So the two olders, and then there's like one older that's like a little whatever. I don't know.
She is a very vocal Trump supporter.
Julie.
Savannah.
She is.
Oh,
Okay.
Savannah.
Well, then
Yeah.
it paid off.
Yeah.
I mean, I was wondering why Trump cared about these two. There's so many injustices in the world, but I'm glad, thank God, that these two are getting pardoned. You know what I mean?
And,
Like, you know what I mean?
You know, the other one was last time he did it, just to give it on the both sides, was with the Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, that was
girl.
good.
And that woman was, so many women are doing these enormously long sentences. And when you look into them,
Yep.
it's like, I was with a drug dealer and I was,
Agreed.
and I'm carrying so she got off. Kim has also over the weekend graduated from law school.
Wow.
So she did the private tutoring and technically is graduated from law school. She still will have to pass the real California bar to actually practice, but good for her.
Well, my hope is
Absolutely.
that Trump now goes and just pardons all the reality criminals. I think that we need Jen Shaw needs to get out.
Okay.
And who else is in there?
Well, do we want the blood
Sure.
prick lady?
drop.
Let's get one drop out. Let's do them all. I mean, I also agree with
Wait,
you.
when One Drop wasn't a reality star, we just want to see her on a reality show.
Yeah,
but
listen,
we
there was
know
a
but she was not a reality
That's
star.
true, but she's best friends with Jen Shaw now. The two of them can go out, do a best friend, best gals
Move to
reality
Utah.
show.
Yeah.
Do a thing where she's like the blood in this one, and Jen Shaw can be like the coach, and
Yeah.
they can have a great time. I mean, I agree with you for white collar shit. Like, get there in a year and you're out. Pay your fines. You don't need to be in there for 18 years. However, like now we need to get everybody out. We need everybody out now. Let's get all the reality people
But
out.
he can't get anyone.
Can't have one without the other. Let's
for
go.
the record.
Well, I mean, I definitely think Jen Shaw should be using her contacts to see
Ugh.
what she can do.
She's been in there a couple years.
But they keep lowering her time.
They
So
do.
I think she's scheduled to get out like January of 2027 now. So truly 18 more months and she could be out and filming with Bravo.
Thank God.
So another crazy story that actually touched the Bravo world.
Mm.
There is this guy. This is an awful story, but the victim is alive. But these two guys, and I'm going to say it again to the best of my ability because it's crypto and Bitcoin and all that confuses me. Drake
too.
had to give me a financial lesson on the way here.
Oh.
I'm like, I still don't really understand it. And basically what he says is crypto is it's a way that you can like trade money without paying taxes. And I know I'm probably saying it wrong. It's probably freaking out. Who cares? It's a crypto thing.
It's
So-
digital currency and it is used on the dark web
Okay.
so that it's not traceable.
right.
So we can't just go, here's $1 million, go kill someone. But on the dark web, you can. And it's via crypto.
Oh, that's good. Thank you for explaining. Okay, so anyway, it goes up and down with the stock. So sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. Because I was like, I thought this was like 2 years ago, and like nobody wanted to deal with it anymore. Well, it's back in anyway. So these two guys have been arrested. They were in the crypto world, and they had this other guy that had a ton of money in the crypto world. They kidnapped him and physically tortured him, like tied him up, was scaring him with like a chainsaw to get his passwords to his crypto fortune.
Oh.
He managed to escape. I mean, you just don't hear about like men being kidnapped like this. And at like a kind of like, talk about white collar. I mean, these people are white. It's a white collar thing. He gets out. They arrest the two men that they believe are responsible for torturing this guy, trying to get his crypto passwords. And this guy, according to page 6, Charlie Zakor, he was there while the guy was being arrested, and he often stays at this apartment, according to people, over the last few months. And he is part of the new Gen Z cast of Gen Z NYC or whatever it's called. The next gen, which is Kim Zolciak's daughter and Teresa's daughter, Gia, and then a couple of people we don't know that are in that world. Candy Burris is from Atlanta. Her daughter is on it. And they're in New York City trying to do things. Now, I heard this show, they, had trouble, people inside, that it's not that juicy. Well, I mean, you're welcome, bravo. They're not saying this guy is being arrested or even investigated. But his description is that he's in cryptocurrency.
And he's connected to the kidnappers.
Yes. And I don't know if they're gay or straight or what, but he definitely knows who the people are, or at least one of the guys who was arrested.
Wow.
And is he in the full cast? Do we know? Wow.
No, they give a whole description of him. Here's his cast photo. See?
Sitting on a garbage can.
Yeah.
Where he belongs.
Yeah.
Right.
Take your crypto.
So that
Flush
might
yourself
be
down the
a
toilet.
juicy thing to look forward to. Speaking of which, Lexi, who is Dina Manzo's daughter, did an interview with Gia, who has her podcast, and they just talked about how she, and I remember this from when I interviewed Dina, how sad it is that Caroline Manzo and Dolores wrote letters supporting her former stepdad, who was convicted of having someone go and attack Dina and her new husband.
Wow. And
they all tracked back to him. But prior to him getting sentenced, Caroline Manzo and Dolores and many, many other people, she said, it's not the only ones, wrote letters saying what a great guy he was. And
well, maybe he'll get pardoned.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not for the Dina man. So anyway, that was kind of interesting. And then they talked about how the cousins, when your parents hate each other,
that sucks.
It's really hard to be, because she was raised. So when Dina divorced her first husband, her dad, she really, needed support. And she moved in with Caroline Manzo. And so Lexi said that the three Manzo kids were like her siblings, because for 3 or 4 years, they all lived under one roof. And I remember Dina telling me that. And then the show came.
I always get it mixed up. Is Dina's husband Caroline's brother, or is Dina actual sisters with Caroline?
It's so interesting. Okay. Caroline and Dina are kind of bookends to 10 kids. Caroline's one of the olders, and she's either the youngest or one of the youngest. They are real sisters, 100%. Caroline married Manzo.
Albie
Manzo. Dina married Lexi's dad. They get divorced. Dina and Lexi move into the house. She's, obviously knows her sister-in-law's, her sister's husband, but her sister's husband, Albie Manzo, has a brother named Tommy, and he starts coming around and seeing her all the time, and they fall in love.
Oh, that's why they have the same last
name.
name.
They get married.
Okay.
And he allegedly wasn't a good husband and cheated and whatnot. So they get divorced, but he wasn't happy with that, allegedly. And then orchestrated an attack on, which one of the attacks was just the new husband alone. And one of them involved, she was there for it. And that's why she got a nose job and everything, because she was beat up, and her engagement ring from the new husband was the only thing stolen, not the husband's Rolex, not other jewelry, just the ring. And it was like, no, I'm not involved. And they were able to track it back to this mobster who got an amazing deal to have his wedding at the brownstone.
Wow.
So there is a lot there.
There's a lot.
Maybe
there.
Lexi will join the thing, but
Yeah,
she
they need
seems
to have her. They should have her.
Yeah, she's very pretty.
You know what they
Dina's
should have?
Dina lives in Malibu. I would
Oh, cool.
love. I know Dina probably wants nothing to do with housewives, and that's why she allegedly didn't attend like Teresa's wedding because she just didn't want to be like on camera and stuff. But you know, I would love to hear and see more from her.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they should get Danielle Staub's daughter too, who's also gorgeous.
that's
Yeah,
She has 2 gorgeous daughters.
Right.
yeah.
That's right.
There's enough of those
There's enough.
children.
Also,
Oh,
Kelly
yes.
we
Bessimone's
forgot
kids.
Brooks Marks.
And,
yeah,
and then, of
Kelly's
course,
kids.
Allie's there.
Oh,
Allie
right.
Shapiro. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, there's a million of
I don't
them.
want
That's
any
why I
randos.
think they're just trying to. I don't know why they added all these other people that we don't know.
Yeah.
I just think you could have used all
Yeah.
of the
All.
Bravo children.
All.
Like,
Easily.
but I guess they wanted to have like, a couple connections. So, who do you have a rich friend or something? So, I want to cook more. I know you want to cook more and save money and eat healthy, but also not spend a lot of time in the grocery store, not waste food, and not have it be a disaster. Well, that's what I love about Hungry Root. Hungry Root is like having a personal nutritionalist. They take care of the stressful meal planning each week by recommending delicious recipes tailored to your tastes or your nutrition preferences and health goals. There's no high fructose, corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, or preservatives in any of Hungry Root's food, which we love because we want to eat healthy. The last meal I made was so delicious. It was a creamy chicken and dill Alfredo pasta. It was savory and healthy and I felt like a little gourmet chef. I love Hungry Root. Take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/juicyscoop and use code JuicyScoop. That's hungryroot.com/juicyscoop, code JuicyScoop to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/juicyscoop, code JuicyScoop. This episode of Juicy Scoop is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.com is one of the most downloaded travel apps in the world, and that makes it the place to list your vacation rentals. If you want to earn more with consistent bookings, reach new markets, and turn hosting into a steady income. I know my Juicy Scoopers. I know you guys are entrepreneurs. I know you have vacation rentals. I know that you rent it out and make a living at it. Or want to. Maybe you aren't succeeding at doing that. Maybe you're finding you're not getting amazing guests. Maybe it isn't working out and you have all these empty weekends and you're like not breaking even or even making money at it. I want you to be successful at it. And that's why you've got to list your property on Booking.com. So whether you're looking to earn that extra income, fill those vacant weekends, or grow your business, head over to Booking.com to see how you can get started today. The reach is global, the bookings are consistent, and the control is yours. For the bookings you've dreamed of, list your property on Booking.com. So you guys know I'm in a new home and it's time to decorate it and make it my own and hang photos, and that means framing, and I don't want to put holes in the wall, and I don't know if it'll look good. That's what I love about Mix Tiles. Mix Tile uses a revolutionary magnetic hanging system that makes decorating painless. Just peel the magnet, stick it to your wall, and pop your framed photo right in it. That's it. No tools, no damage, no mess. I've heard about Mix Tiles for a long time, but I never tried them because I wasn't sure if it truly stays on the wall and leaves no damage, but it actually works beautifully, and now I'm obsessed. Not only will your walls stay damage-free, but your photos will look like they were professionally hung. Gone are the days of choosing between crooked frames and a wall full of holes. With Mix Tiles, you can easily adjust each frame until it's the perfect spot. Turn your favorite memories into stunning, affordable wall art. For a limited time, Our Juicy Scoop listeners get 35% off on all orders above $139. Just head to mixtiles.com, use code Juicy Scoop, and you're all set. That's code Juicy Scoop at mixtiles.com. And after you buy, do us a favor. When they ask you where you heard about Mixed Tiles, tell them it was from Juicy Scoop. Anyway, this is my new favorite thing. TJ Lovelady. I don't know if this person is the only one doing this or what, but let's give him credit. He has figured a way for AI to make baby versions of classic housewife reunion moments. And I love it so much. Like, Andy's face is so freaking cute. I just want to
Yeah.
I know it's not real, but it's so fun. And so in this one, this was my favorite. Who's going to check me, boo?
Yes.
And I mean, look at the little fat arm. It's so please, you guys, subscribe to my YouTube because you would get all this and share it. And the photos are really enhancing our lives here. So this is She by Sherri, and and then go back and forth. It's a little baby version too of him talking about. And then when she's like, you said you were going to have a helicopter drop me at my own party because he was a party planner. Who's going to check me?
Oh, that's right.
And then they somehow are able to also include this little baby AI grabbing like a Lego helicopter.
Oh my God, I'm in.
And then also in the reunions, they
in.
have the women, like the Atlanta women, grabbing like bedazzled sippy cups.
Oh,
It is the most genius thing.
Then I've seen like, what's his butt with the podcast I told you guys, where the, with the mullet.
Theo Vaughn.
Theo Vaughn. Yeah.
Like his clips are funny anyway, but they'll take ones that really aren't that funny. Or
Yeah.
they're just whatever. And now he's a baby doing it. And I can just sit on I actually wish this was the whole podcast and I'll just watch it.
Well, I have Drake working on the video aspect, but in a quick moment, we were able to bring you this. And this is just from today.
Why does
Julie
Julie look exactly like her?
Julie and Brandy as babies.
Like the thing about Julie is that, does she look like a baby now? Is she a grown toddler? Because that looks exactly like her.
Amazing.
That looks exactly like you.
Look,
That
you have
looks
like
exactly like-
necklaces. It's so good.
That literally looks exactly like you. Like I cannot deal with your necklace.
I have a
the
bracelet on
necklaces,
or
the
a watch.
bracelet.
I feel like when I started the Barbie thing, like that was amazing. I was the only one. And then I was like, nobody even knows I'm doing this and it's a lot of work and I just don't have time and everything has a moment.
God.
The 10
Yes.
years of Juicy Scoop, I'm not going to do the same thing over and over again. And people then started to do the Barbie stuff as well. And I really had a great woman help me. Like she would get the outfits, figure out what they were doing for the, and we would do all the dolls and I would go to Target and I would look at the faces and sometimes I would thicken the brow myself and do the hair and then she would send me the outfits. And so I feel like then other people did it and they did it even better because I would do the voices, but then they just overlaid the Barbies with the actual audio and did a great job. Very entertaining. But, for right now, 2025, it's about the babies.
It's about the babies.
It's about the babies. We'll get tired of this. They also do old person version, not nearly as fun. No one wants to see yourself old.
No, absolutely not.
We want to see ourselves as fat
Yes.
babies under 4.
Do you remember
Please.
that app that went around where people would be like, "Oh my God," and then show like, look at it, and it was the aging app, and I'd be
Right.
like, "Put that on me and lose your actual life. I'll just look in the mirror. I'll just go look in the mirror. I don't need you to."
Yeah, why do I want to see
Ugh.
myself as 80? Hey, you guys, here's what I look like with cancer. I don't want it. It makes me sad. But this makes me happy.
Makes me
Look at this.
so the cutest thing I've ever
It's the
seen.
cutest thing. Ooh.
Okay, I want to give you a little update on the Diddy trial because this actually is part of one of the many civil lawsuits of people claiming they were sexually assaulted. And another person has been named in this one particular assault, which involves a male victim. And that is P. Diddy and
Farnsworth Bentley.
Farnsworth Bentley. So to remind people that have been following pop culture for at least the last 20 years, there was, or even more than that maybe, because this guy would walk around. So P. Diddy would all of a sudden had his house in the Hamptons. And there was this time where it's like, oh my gosh, this is it's like the Great Gatsby in the Hamptons, but with like super successful Black people of all industries, but the music industry. And again, dressed to the nines, all of this. And part of it was where we'd see P. Diddy walking around dressed like the Great Gatsby with this guy just carrying the umbrella so not to be bothered by the sunlight. So when we wrote White Chicks, somebody said we got to have the P. Diddy character,
the butler,
because nobody knew who that was. So in developing Terry Crews's character, who was a rich Black guy, but only wanted to date white women, and that's why he goes after Marlon Wayne's character, who's dressing as a white woman. We had this other guy and he was like an actor and part of our group, but he was perfect to cast because he was a contributing writer, I think, too, as the umbrella person. So, I mean, literally we basically reenacted this scene of having him like come around and do all that based on all of this. So he has fallen off of any kind of public life since like 2003, this guy. And he's married with children.
To a woman?
To a woman.
Wow, that's a shocker.
There's seemed to have a very like traditional life. So we'll see what happens with this civil case. But that is something of face from the past that has now emerged because, people from his past are hoping not to be emerging.
Well,
right?
I do want to say that last time we were here, we discussed the Met Gala, which was Black dandyism.
Yeah.
And his name was coming up a lot, Farnsworth Bentley, in the discussions around the Met Gala, because he was very early days, like bringing that back.
Right. And that's what it was. I mean, that's what this whole thing that we were saying, amazing. So little updates on this. Diddy's ex-assistant named Capricorn Clark, she took the stand. She, to just sum it up, she talked a lot about how she was threatened. She worked for him, but then she would be accused of stealing stuff. And then they'd put her in a room and make her take polygraph tests. And they're like, if you don't pass the polygraph test, you're going to be thrown in a river and never heard from again. And then I guess she would pass the polygraph test and then she'd continue working and that she was fearful. But then, of course, the defense brings up a text where she's like, hey, chocolate, is what she used to call Sean Combs. Did I ever tell you before I started working for you, I had a major crush on you. And I feel like we had a missed opportunity. And that text, according to the defense, came way after all this awful stuff that she had been through. So, then Suge Knight had done a call from prison to TMZ. He is saying, yes, I believe all this because his name keeps coming up. There's just so much. I'm not going to try to cover every little moment. But her quote was, he said, if you fail this test, they're going to throw you in the East River.
Oh.
And there was a lot of that stuff of like, I think that you stole and now you have to take a test, which is a lie detector test or something like that, which, at the same time, these same people were responsible for buying all the baby oil and like, what did you take a bottle of baby oil?
That's what I was thinking.
Just
what
the
are you stealing?
paranoidness that, just
that loving to make someone take a test, loving, threatening.
Yeah.
He's such a...
And I'm sure paying people well, which is why they're staying.
Yes.
And then the Kid Cudi thing, to remind you guys. So Kid Cudi was seeing Cassie on the side while she was at his beck and call to do these, sex parties or freak offs. And when Sean Combs found out, he took another person and a gun, allegedly, to Kid Cudi's house, went into Kid Cudi's house, and then someone let Kid Cudi know, hey, Sean Combs is at your house. Kid Cudi went to the house, and they had some type of confrontation or whatever. But when he got there, along with threatening him with everything, this is the weirdest part, Sean Combs had opened his Christmas gifts under the tree. There were presents for like under Kid Cudi's tree, like he did like a Grinch. And like he was just like opening them up. And it's just like what? And so then he left. And then later on, his car was blown up. But then, of course, the defense says there's no way to prove that that was ordered by him.
This is when we're sad the Chappelle show's not still around.
Oh my God.
That right there, him doing P. Diddy walking in and opening all the gifts in a fit of rage.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Unreal.
J-Lo, this was an old video of J-Lo talking about Diddy. And, you know, I think it was like, not Barbara Walters, but the other pretty blonde that would do all the interviews back then. You know who I mean.
Yes.
And she's like,
not
was
Diane.
Sean Combs the one that got away? And J-Lo's like, no. What was it? We just didn't want the same things as far as like family and future together. And I realized I needed to have more respect for myself, and it's not what I wanted. And it's so crazy because, you know, he really helped put her on the map as a singer. She showed up in the green dress, the white low pants. That's when her music started. And then they broke up. And the resemblance of J-Lo during this time and Cassie, who he got right after, and Cassie was basically, you know, was younger and he could manipulate her. And then he got her one song and then signed her to a 10-year contract in which he recorded 100 songs and none of which we ever heard.
And a 10-record deal.
That's what, a 10-record deal.
Unheard of. Like,
yeah.
What is she supposed to work for you till she's 80? And then he never released any of the music? He completely, like, had her basically kidnapped in plain sight.
Oh, also, I remember I went to a house. It was a friend of a Bravo celebrity invited me to a house that their very wealthy friend had just bought. And this was about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was P. Diddy's old house.
Ooh.
Absolutely stunning. Several levels overlooking the view off of like Mulholland area.
Mm.
And then there was like one drawer that was like for Diddy only, like in a drawer like that just said this. And this is a year ago, or a year and a half ago. So there wasn't really all this out there. And so the woman who bought it was like, I just thought that was so great. I'm like, keep it.
It was like special dildo.
Yeah, exactly.
Gun, a bunch of drugs.
A gun.
More baby oil.
Knives.
The girls
Nipple clamps.
The daughters graduated from Campbell Hall this weekend, his daughters. And, you know, they went to prom and everything. And, you know, awkward conversation if like you're there at the mall taking the sons were there like, and what do your parents do? Also really weird, I saw this. When Kim Porter, their mother, was alive, they were young girls, but they were not on the internet, didn't have any Instagram. According to what I found, so just I think I'm 99% right that this person presented the correct information, but that literally the day that she passed, or very shortly after, the girls started the Combs sisters, the Combs twins YouTube page and started their online presence.
The day after the mother died.
She said within a few days.
I think it was the day, but just to be safe, I'm going to say a couple days. But it was literally like they had no online presence when she was alive.
Huh.
And then suddenly they did.
Oh, because he didn't just care what they did? Like, what do you think?
I think he was probably okay or encouraging it. Maybe
like
I don't know. I don't know.
Leveraging
their loyalty to him.
Oh, I see.
And I mean, look, the kids want him to get off, of course, because the whole goal of this is to prove that Bad Boys Enterprise was a criminal enterprise,
Right.
and therefore, if the government proves their case, the $400 million could go to, or 400 billion or whatever it is. I don't even know. No, maybe not 400 billion, 400 million at least, could be seized by the government, which is their five or six
money.
kids' inheritance. Yeah. And what they would live
That
off.
sucks. I mean, the kids should get
So
some
there
money.
you go. J-Lo, the AMAs appears to have been a real weird situation. So this one girl I followed, she popped up. She said, I got a thing. Do you want to be one of the screaming fans on the red carpet for the AMAs? We'll pay you $100. And she was like, all right. She brought her girlfriend. She's young, like 25. Whatever. And then they said, actually, we don't have $100 for you, but we will get you and +1 to be able to sit in the audience to the free show. So they're like, sure, why not? Like,
Okay.
how fun. So it was very weird. The red carpet was very weird. They said the only person that would come over and was nice to them and say hi and like take a photo was Hattie Montauk with Spencer, of course. And then what I saw is almost everybody that was nominated didn't go. Taylor Swift was completely snubbed by any nomination or win, maybe. Maybe she was nominated, she didn't win anything. Not even like best tour. And so she wasn't there. All the main winners, the big names, they all did their wins by Zoom, like or video. Thanks. And then it was hosted by J-Lo. And she did this, I watched the whole opening, and she did like a little song of something where she held the note for really long. Like, I think this was her moment to prove I can sing, because there's always those things of her being like, and then I was, oh shit. You know, that people have that like audio of her, like, oh, that sounds terrible and whatever. So she said, so people cheered. And then she did this. I mean, I can't even imagine, now I'm not a dancer, how long it took her and these dancers to come up with like this 4-minute dance routine to all of the hottest songs of the year.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
And the dancing was amazing. And I'm like, really, she is like an incredible specimen for being 55 years old. Like the way she dances, looking great. But again, just like odd. Like everything about it seemed like it was kind of an odd situation. It was weird that it was Memorial Day. I don't think that's a great day to hold like an awards ceremony. If you want bad viewership, that would be the day to host it, to have it.
Yeah.
And
right.
yeah, so
The music awards general this year just seem, or maybe it's just awards show in general, just seem like they're
done.
dying, or
I think it's just a weird.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
And then I don't know, it just also makes me think like everyone's pushed it too far also on the red carpet.
Yeah.
Like, we're sick of you and your bullshit.
Yeah.
Chapel Roan.
I don't even think she came.
Probably not.
There were very few
It's just
people.
like-
It was like James Charles. Like, that's it. Like, it was like,
another one. Like, save it, keep it, stay home. Like, we don't need you. But it's just like, there's something, I don't know if it was this year, just everyone just kind of like went, their outfit, everything just was, it's like everything else. It's like there's fatigue. There's like music award
I
fatigue.
wonder if there people are like, don't even go, because you're going to be asked something, and if you say the wrong thing politically,
Maybe it's that. Maybe it's
like
that.
you know,
Maybe
and
it's that. Chapel Roan. Maybe it's that.
you can't win in this situation.
Maybe
so
it is-
maybe
yeah,
just stay
maybe
the
it's
fuck
that.
home.
Because
Yeah.
everyone on a red carpet is wearing a pin or a thing or like, or
Right.
here's my beliefs.
Yeah.
And like, make sure you know that I'm.
Yeah. Karen Reed, you guys.
Give it.
Well, to just catch you up, the prosecution is now presenting the lamest reenactment that you've ever seen of how they believe she backed up
Okay.
and hit him.
Okay.
So, according to the experts on the prosecution side, there is a backup at that time of where her car was going 24 miles an hour. And they believe that's when she intentionally hit him, killed him, left him to die. And so they're like showing almost like the black box of the car or whatever, all the different times. And so but the biggest question has been, if a car hit you, this SUV, and at that speed, and hence that's what broke your taillight, and as you lay back there, why are there no broken chest bones? Because the body, so they do a reenactment.
Is it a drawing? Is it a human beings? Are
you
we doing
would
a
think it
grounding
would be
sketch
you
here?
would think it would be like an AI type of like you
Yeah.
know
Is it
walking.
babies?
No, it's a guy that dressed up in his clothes that night,
Nope.
and they filmed a video of him like holding an open cocktail glass and saying, "Okay, this is how it would happen." And the scratch marks on the arm came from the broken taillight and glass.
Uh-huh.
And of course, the defense says, no, the scratch marks are from a dog. Well, I was just with Michael Goldstein, Shannon's husband.
Mm-hmm.
And I see all these scratch marks on my arm. I said, your arm looks like John O'Keefe's arm. And he goes, oh, that's Lola, the dog. She just gets too excited and whatever when he's playing ball with her and he scratches her. So they, of course, defense thinks she left him. He walked out of the car, went into the house, never came out because he got in an altercation. This German Shepherd that has been rehomed and no one's found his new home. So they think, then maybe he died there, stumbled out there. And then to cover it up, they put him out in the snow so that she would come looking for him and think, since I dropped him off, I might have maybe inadvertently hit him. Okay. Or they did get in an altercation and then he walked out to see where she was, slipped and fell or was bleeding and then died in the snow and nobody knew he died in the snow until they all arrived looking for him that morning. And therefore the sister-in-law of the house didn't go into the house because
she knew there had been a fight or something.
Or
nothing happened.
Or the other theory is she did hit him and didn't know it. He died there. And when they realized that he was dead on the front lawn, all the people, they all erased all their stuff. This is kind of my latest theory, but I don't necessarily think it's a good one. But I'm just talking about if I was like in the jury room and everybody's like talking, that maybe then because they were all drunk driving, because they were all possibly swingers, because they might do recreational drugs, because they might do some dirty cop stuff, they were like, holy shit, a guy we were partying with last night is dead. Everybody cover up their shit.
Right.
And
throw your phone into a vat of acid.
Yeah.
We were just partying. We were not doing coke. We didn't get in a fight. I didn't bash his brains in. The dog didn't bite him. None of it happened. All right.
Right.
So we're going to get out of here and we're going to go.
The thing is, though,
that's
if they saw him out there, he wasn't dead yet for a while because he died of freezing in the snow.
Hypothermia.
The other thing is they may have not seen him. Everyone's like, how could you not see him? I'm like, I don't know. It's dead of night. You guys had 14 drinks. Maybe. And it's like in the corner. So I'm like, okay, so then here's the other thing. They didn't know he was dead. The people that are at the house. Mm-hmm. She calls her friend, Jen McCabe, who is the sister-in-law of the people whose house the party was at, crazy, freaking out. Where is he? Where is he? And then she's like, where? Oh my God, we don't know where he is. Let's go back. Maybe he was walking home and a car hit him or whatever. So then they see that he's dead. And at that point, Jen McCabe then alerts the group. He's dead. Let's just say we never saw him because we don't want to be, and they already think it's her. She probably, so let's just leave it on her. And the other theory is, it's like, and this was Drake's. He's like, I think that the prosecution now knows that they should have probably never brought this case.
That's right, Drake.
And they almost want to lose it. They almost want to lose it and have her get off. And I think, well, that's why her attorneys are sticking with her. Because if she does get off, you better believe there's going to be a civil suit against the city for putting her through 3 years of hell.
1,000,000%.
Now, what are you going to say?
Quick sucky theory is that which sucks kind of along with your last one, Heather, is that he actually got hit by a snowplow. Because the thing was, they were going to put him out there, so it made it look like he got hit by a snowplow. But then because remember that snowplow driver who became the hero, and they're like, Scully's not going to pay for a drink for the next 2 years. I'm like, maybe he did it. Maybe he did get hit by a snowplow. That's where the snow's getting plowed. It was a huge blizzard that night.
It's odd to me, that a group of cops. Caps.
You're hot.
You're hot. You're wicked hot in Canton, Massachusetts.
The flat ass.
That love to do their bullshit. Right. She's a babe. She's got a flat ass. She's crazy, whatever. We know from all the movies that when people try and cover something up, even if they accidentally did something or whatever, it makes it worse for you. The cops get on you, then the cops. These are actual cops. They know better. They know. Not only that, they're corrupt. They know they can get away with anything they want in that town, and everyone knows it. So the fact that they are running scared blares to me. And if I were in the jury, I would say, I will never vote her guilty. There's too much reasonable doubt. Absolutely not. They're covering up their shit. They killed the dog. They've covered the pool. They sold the house.
That ended up being not true about the pool, but just
They didn't cover the pool. That was a lie. Then they went.
I also
and
think selling your house under value is not suspicious. If something crazy happened in your house and people are there taking photos of it every day, you're like, fuck it, let's just get out of here. I do see that whether you're innocent or not. That's the only thing that I don't think is suspicious.
so quickly. But
But
okay.
still,
But okay,
Yeah.
let's give that the benefit of the doubt for that.
yeah, we don't want
You
our
got
kids
rid of the
harassed.
dog.
Yeah.
Just that alone, and no one can find the dog?
What about the cop across the street
Absolutely
who
not.
couldn't find his ring cam footage?
Oh,
or whatever?
it's all-
That's another
Yeah.
cop.
You are covering your tracks, and if you were an upstanding person who believed that an accident occurred, which was no one's actual fault, then you wouldn't be doing this. But you're all guilty of something, and maybe you didn't kill him, but you are complicit in his death, and that is, I believe,
I
What's going on?
believe that OJ killed Ron Goldman and Nicole Simpson. I also believe there is strong evidence that there might have been some extra evidence planted to seal the deal. So I do
okay.
think that can happen. I do think
Yeah, they like to
that they, then was like, oh, let's make sure there's some of the red taillight
right.
where the body was found.
Because there has to be
right.
enough there. And then they tried to charge her with first-degree murder, which
is
that's when it all went off the
ridiculous.
rails.
It's just ridiculous.
Because you're sexist and you're misogynist,
Yeah.
and you couldn't just be like, oh, she drove drunk and accidentally hit him with the car and have it be done, have her do 3 years. No, you've got to pretend that she sat down and masterminded some murder of him. Like
After he
I
went
know,
in your house.
That was the biggest
that was the
mistake
biggest
of
mistake.
all because
she'd be in jail right now.
Yeah.
And she'd be out in a year.
Yeah.
But they had to make it in some psycho girlfriend with a flat ass that killed one of Boston's finest. Get the fuck out of here, losers.
Let's see what will happen. Okay, Sherri Papini. There's a new show on ID Network. There was already a Hulu documentary on it. I've talked about it ad nauseum. This is the blonde girl that went for a jog and then never came home until the day before Thanksgiving. And her husband and her whole family thought she was dead after 22 days. Turns out they track it back for a year and a half. He's kissing her wounds and thinks he's the luckiest man in the world that she is home. And then they bring them in and they're like, we know the truth. And the cops say the truth is you were talking to an old high school boyfriend. You told him you were being abused. He came to pick you up. You staged this thing because you seek attention. You told him to go to Michael's and get a branding thing, and you and branded yourself and cut your hair and was watching the news
everywhere.
every day and
Oh
did
my
scratches every day.
God.
And then realized, okay, I do want to go home, so just drop me off the day before Thanksgiving because I want sweet potatoes. And then your first lie was 2 Mexican women. Now, maybe she didn't say lesbians, but the drawing looked pretty.
Listen,
Anyway,
if it looks and talks, you know what I mean? What are you going to do?
And so she's 2, and I was always like, I immediately thought, well, if you're setting out to traffic her because she's young and blonde and pretty and could pass off as a teenager, why would you cut off her golden locks and brand her and make her look like shit? If you wanted to stick her in a hotel room to be horribly trafficked and drug her up,
Right.
why would you make her look ugly? So then they never found the women. But when she would describe the room she was in and stuff, she would describe the room she was in, which was this room like in Huntington Beach, like in this apartment, this small house that the guy owned. She goes to jail for that. He divorces her. He is got his own, he's got the custody of the kids, but she, I think, can kind of see him or she's trying to see him. Now she does a new doc, just like Casey Anthony. Like, listen, I know production is down in Los Angeles, but are we just going to suddenly, like all of a sudden is Jussie Smollett going to tell the 10th version of his story next? And then like every person that, has come clean is like, but let me come clean again.
Right.
Or, oh, actually, this is what happened. An entirely different story than that was ever told to the cops, ever told to their attorneys, ever told to anyone in the jail. Now she says, because I was like, I don't know if I have the patience. to have them walk me through, because 80% is going to be everything I just told you. I know what happened. I know how she showed up on the day before Thanksgiving. Like, I just want to know what is a new thing she said. So this is what she said. Husband was awful, totally controlling, wouldn't let her like even speak in the house.
Wouldn't let her see her boyfriend?
Wouldn't she? Yeah. She did a post-nup saying if she was ever caught cheating, she would give up custody of the kids. I don't know if that's even possible, that a lawyer would even allow someone to sign that, but whatever, that's what she says. But she started talking to the old boyfriend named James. But now she says, I never told him to come pick me up. He showed up on my jog and kidnapped me and brought me to the house.
That poor guy.
Wow.
Brought me to the house and then wouldn't let me go and tortured me. But once I was released, I didn't want to say when she first said it was the Mexican women, I didn't want to say it was this guy, because then it would prove I was at least having an emotional affair, which would constitute cheating. Via the post-nup, I would lose my kids automatically. So I went along with the lie. And even when I found out that this guy was involved, I still didn't want to say anything else because I was scared I'd lose my kids. But you did lose your kids because you went to prison for 18 months.
God. First of all,
and the guy didn't speak on the documentary because he's like, I've already been tricked and felt like an asshole, like taking care of this girl and going to Michael's.
Well, she's definitely going to be on Dancing with the Stars. For sure. She's definitely going to be on Dancing with the Stars.
I don't think people are believing her. I don't know that she's going to be beloved.
No,
but she is starting a podcast with Hilaria.
I'm telling you, Dancing with the Stars, that she's on the way. She's on the way. It's crazy. There's your other new reality
called
show.
No Filters, Truth Only.
Oh my God.
From accents to kidnapping.
Yeah, they just liar.
We just do it all. Yeah, we do it all.
She got 18 months.
Their first guest is Blake Lively.
How do you say? It's Hilaria Baldwin, right?
I'm Sherri Papini.
How do you say?
Yeah. It's so great to be here, Hilaria. Oh my God, your kids are beautiful. I wish I could see one, but I can't because my husband told me if I ever talked to anyone that wasn't my husband, I would lose custody, and therefore that's why I had to lie about a 22-day kidnapping. And
that is so horrible. Yeah. That is so horrible. Gracias for being here. That is so terrible. Like,
it is.
I know that with my 17 kids, like, I'm always telling Alec, like, viva, 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 and he's like, what? Because he doesn't understand me because of my English, my second language. How hard was it for you when you were going on your jog and that ex came and just took you away?
It was hilarious. It was terrifying. And I don't like the way I've been portrayed in the media.
What do you want to tell everyone about the truth about your matters?
I am just a mom that liked to work out.
Me too. Yo también.
That's why we're launching this podcast, because we're going to talk about working out, yoga, wellness. NAD, it's a great supplement for staying healthy. NAD. A lot of people are talking about it. Yeah, NAD. Yeah.
NAD.
And just motherhood, and it's a no filter podcast. Accents and kidnappings on iHeartRadio.
Boom. Done. Accents and kidnappings. Just liar. Yeah, they should have Jussie Smollett will be on.
We got we got Blake Lively.
Get the Chrisleys back. Get the Chrisleys on. You can interview people from prison.
Jen
Shaw,
the
Blood
Shaw.
Lady.
Then they're gonna go in the middle and be like,
one drop.
Nutrafol.
Yeah.
When my hair.
I do love Nutrafol.
We do too.
Hey.
We love Nutrafol too.
Okay, Drake found this and I thought it was brilliant. Okay. So it popped up in his For You page because we do live close to Calabasas.
Okay.
But it was a video of some people eating. And it said, if your name is Megan and you live in Calabasas, your friends haven't stopped talking shit about you for 20 minutes straight. Time for some new friends. It had 13,000 hearts after like an hour.
Oh my God.
Megan in Calabasas.
And no one
now,
came.
I've seen this with like your man is on a trip and if your man is flying from Texas to whatever, he's talking to this girl saying that, he's a widow.
Oh, I saw that.
You're dead. I don't know.
I saw that.
And they found that.
But normally they do it with cheatings.
Right.
But this scares the shit out of me.
If your name is Heather. Yeah. Can you imagine? I mean, I wonder where Megan.
Just so you know, this is not us Our friend Megan does not live in Calabasas.
But I wonder if Megan in Calabasas knows. Did she comment on there and goes, "Hey guys, it's me, Megan. I can't believe it."
If you are Megan from Calabasas, I am inviting you to come on Juicy Scoop with the friends and let's see what the issue was.
Yes, work it out.
Why? Like, hey.
Oh my God.
That's what podcasts are for. That's what podcasts are for. It's talking. The old way was talking behind each other's backs. Maybe someone put you on a 3-way call and you could hear it.
Yeah.
The new way is you just get your own podcast and then you just talk about each other and then you can play it at your own leisure of what your friends actually think of you.
I like this lane for you. We saw it in the lift where you were kind and compassionate and understanding and listened to all sides. I feel this is therapist Heather.
Yes.
And you bring them on and work it out. Just kind of, that's right.
Can this friendship be saved? Listen, I would like to know, not anymore, because now I know. But when I found out that actually my friends didn't like me, I was like, oh my God, I wish I would have known. If you would have told me, I could have like fixed something. But now I'm like, well, I'm glad I don't have you in my life. But I think think this is juicy. These people look young too. This is like a young person. So what is it? What kind of shit was it? It could be
Megan thinks she is the fucking shit every time she walks in. It's like,
or it could be Megan has these new friends and she's ignoring us. We don't know
friends
what
with
it
her
is.
since 3rd grade, and she dropped me just like that, like nothing, just because she got a boyfriend.
Yeah,
it could be very Mormon wives where it's like she thinks she's the queen of the group.
Right. Yes.
She thinks she's the queen of mom talk.
Or it could just be them talking about her or like just ripping on her. I had to mute her. I couldn't see her.
She brags all the time. All she does is brag about her stupid life.
Every day. Like, I'm sorry that you're like wealthier than us. Like, that's insane.
We don't eat $20 strawberries, Megan. Okay? We just like eat normal, like sushi 3 times a week. Like,
Someone found her in the comments.
I hope
they
so.
had to have.
And I want them to come on. I hope that somebody finds them and they come on so you can do.
Oh my God! I was telling Drake, he's like,
thing.
"How was the dinner last night at Nobu?" And I go, "Well, it is just a beautiful setting and it's very expensive, but you go there on a special occasion. The food is good, but you're paying for the expensive real estate. Okay, that's why it's not gonna be the same as if you get sushi in Reseda. Okay, it just is not.
No.
So, however, I said I saw a young girl and her friend come from their private school wearing their sweatshirts, saying they're just wanting. I'm kind of craving sushi. Just want to head up. No, I was like, at the best table, sitting there, the best. Wow. Here, Peter and I saved up our whole lives to go to Nobu for 25 years of marriage, and these girls are just like, hey, can we just have some more crispy rice with spicy tuna?
Well, that is delicious there, though.
That is crispy, the best.
It is the best. And that whatever that corn thing is amazing.
Yeah, I saw the corn thing too, but too late. Because the corn thing's not on the menu. You got to ask for the corn. Right. Yeah. Well, the girls got the corn.
Oh, of course they did.
But by the time you ordered it, we're out of it.
They already got it.
Okay.
When we've been there too, it's full families just having their normal dinner. Like we'd go out to Applebee's as a family.
Yeah. Like it's Tuesday night.
They're just out with 3 kids, the 2 parents, like
so maybe the girls are studying for finals. It's just like, you know what I could go for? Let's go over the canyon. Okay. Let's see. Love Hotel.
We are watching.
So one of the guys, which I'm not going to say the name.
Okay.
But a friend of mine dated for many years.
Yes.
And at least back then, which is 7 years ago, he was not setting the world on fire.
Right.
But the women thought he was.
Because he wore a scarf and chiseled his beard to make it look like he had a jaw.
Because he was a liar?
Why he wasn't doing well? No, I'm just saying, yeah, but who knows? Maybe he does better now. Lots could happen in 7 years. So I don't want to say that.
Okay.
But I also think the guys that agree to go, I mean, just imagine like a businessman that's like, you know what I'd like to do?
The only one I know is Peter.
Yeah, and I don't think Peter would want to go, but hey, it's a free trip. So if you're really successful, like, are you going on a free trip? I don't know. I'm thinking the contestants didn't get paid. They just got a free trip. And then they have to woo these women. And maybe why not? I'm enjoying the show, so I say I hope more guys come.
Yeah.
But obviously it's, maybe 1 or 2 turn out to be like an actual catch. But I don't know.
First of all, there's a few of them that are gay and are there for the housewives of it all, for sure. Like, hey, what do you do? It's like, oh my God, one more gay guy.
But they all act like they've never heard of Housewives.
That's where you
I'm
go.
like, how
Come on.
I think they're telling him to say, I've never heard of Housewives.
Everyone.
You're on the show.
You know.
Starring 4 Housewives. And you flew there for 3 hours. You didn't think to like download Peacock?
Yeah, I think
and
the
like
days
watch it. Like, how could you not? Like, you're not on trial where they take your. I mean, once you get there, I'm sure they take your phone away. But like, you had time to like research.
These are not the days of like, and also you don't have. There's several of them. Like, I don't even have a TV. Like, is that a flex? You're annoying.
I don't have
You
a TV, but I'm going to agree to go on a TV show.
Why would you be on a TV show?
Yeah,
Well, you do have a TV. You've got 3 TVs. Okay, and you got a TV in your car probably too, you liar. And you know who housewives are because everybody at least knows who they are.
Yeah.
Like this whole thing of the guys and they're like, housewife? Nah. Just no.
And they
Come
had
on.
to have been told because otherwise they
They
thought they were
know.
showing up to Love Island.
Yeah.
And they were like, this isn't where I thought I was going. Okay, I thought
Right.
Ariana was going to walk out and I was going to have a bunch of like titty gals,
Right.
you know. Not that they're not beautiful, but they had to have been told what they were getting into.
My favorite thing about the whole show is it's Giselle, Shannon Bedore, and Luann. And my favorite part was when Ashley, after being excited to get down with the old man Ralph, actually didn't like tonguing him. And
Amazing.
then said, I got my period. Since she's the only one that legally can say
Yes.
she still gets her period.
Yes.
I was like, now this, how have we never seen this
So good.
on any other dating show, on any other overnight's Bachelor,
Yes.
where a girl just blurts out, Aunt Flo came early.
Yep.
I loved it. And then she
I
was like,
love.
yeah, Aunt Flo has saved me from a lot of things I haven't wanted to do.
Yep.
And especially someone that old. Younger guys are like, I don't care. But an older guy is like, ah! Like, do you need a heating pad? Like, just like, yeah.
Oh, that was amazing. And not only did she tell him, didn't kick him out the room, she let him stay in rubber feet.
Yeah, because she was like, I'm getting everything
Just
out
like
of this.
everything.
Yeah.
And that guy's an asshole for doing that. And like the
For
biggest
rubbing her feet?
literal asshole on the planet. No, he went for the youngest girl there.
No, she went for him. You are
Yeah,
not being
well,
fair to Ralph.
I'm not going to be
She
fair to Ralph.
went-
I'm not.
He was into Giselle, and she jumped over Giselle.
I know, but
and was like, "I like you." And then they had one good kiss,
he.
and Giselle clearly likes nobody.
Oh,
No one.
Here's
That's
where
what we
this
love.
is where we're off.
We
getting off.
love.
Giselle and Luann are, first of all, they should never be off television. I only want to see them handling men. I want all women across the planet to watch Giselle and watch Luann and learn from these master tiger, like alpha, toppy. It's incredible. Giselle's just like, what you do? She's eating.
Yeah.
She's like, what'd you do? She's just like, handling the whole thing. Now,
Right.
Luann, I'm obsessed. Luann,
Darling,
wearing
I'm sitting
nothing.
here half naked
Yeah.
and you still haven't tried to kiss me.
Darling, look at me in the eye, darling. Look at me in the eye, darling. I'm here. I'm half naked and you haven't kissed me yet. What are you gonna do about it, darling?
And then she just leaves.
And then she walks out. I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be back. She gets up and she says she has to go to the bathroom 50 times. It's amazing. It's these women are.
Well, Luann told me some things off mic
She is the fucking queen.
that will even impress you more once it's revealed.
Good.
I don't want to ruin
Okay.
it for her.
All right,
I
well-
want to follow the rules of my guest.
Okay.
Don't. I think
All right,
she
No,
fine.
wants,
you'll tell us.
she wants people to watch the show. Yes,
well,
of course.
And Shannon's just a little in over her head, I think.
Shannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Earl
the
from
Pearl.
Atlanta. Yeah, Earl the Pearl from Atlanta. I'm just like,
You don't eat vegetables? No, it's just
and it's
sometimes
like, why are you always looking at me
God.
like that? I'm like, oh, again, maybe you don't watch Housewives because she's been doing that shit
Yeah.
constantly, like,
Exactly. Wait, why do you always? God, you're trying to.
and,
Yeah, no, I like pizza.
and
I
then
don't
like a
like
high
vegetables.
pitched voice, but she's actually more chill. Like
Yes.
she's kind of chill, like because she's like, okay, I guess I want to be like end with somebody, as if she's ever gonna like have
Ugh.
him.
She
hang-
did have a 7-hour nervous breakdown.
Yes.
That one episode where it was like,
She's
Lady,
getting
get it
triggered
together.
like after that dinner because he didn't eat the greens. Like, you really need to eat your greens.
Yeah.
And then she's like, but you triggered me because every man I'm with just treats me like shit. And and then it's just like, and then I'm triggered and my wife. And it's like, you're too old
and then
to be triggered.
they're like, and then they're all like, you got to get back on track. I'm like, wait, you guys have been dating for like 3.5 days.
Literally.
Like literally, we know this thing was a 1 week shoot.
Yes.
Like maybe it was longer, but
I
not longer
don't
than
think
2
so.
weeks. Okay, the Valley. The Valley. Okay, can I just say we are in the third episode of Danny being accused of being an alcoholic because a year prior he got drunk and said to Jasmine, who is a lesbian, with her girlfriend, "Hey, get daddy a drink."
And he slapped the girlfriend on the butt.
Yeah, and that is bad, but it has now been brought up 3 times, and he's apologized twice.
He's apologized many
and
times.
I understand we need to have conflict. We need to have things going on in the world, in the Valley, but like, I mean,
He's an alcoholic. He's this. He's lying, and then they're lying, and it's like,
oh, and I
the
thought
guy,
like, the
who
evidence.
cares?
Talk about the trial of Danny. Last
God,
night there was an
Jesus
interesting
Christ.
moment that broke the case open. It's right up there with Karen Reed. Right up
Oh,
there with
yeah.
Karen Reed.
Yeah,
They said he was an alcoholic, and poor suffering beauty queen wife Nia is covering up for her alcoholic husband. Why Britney bleeds, ma cheese or whatever, and her horrible life with Jax, and lays out her mortgage payments that he hasn't paid, and says every
Oof, that was
single
pretty brutal.
ugly thing that hasn't happened. That has happened. Finally, Luke, who is also like, turns out to be like a pretty great guy. He knows how to like fix a carburetor and
Oh, that's
like
right.
and like hang a photo, whatever. So he goes, well, at the dinner, Danny goes, yeah, I would have taken a nap regardless, whether I had 1 drink or 5. My plan was to take a nap before dinner. I told Nia to wake me up. We sat down for dinner, and then Luke goes, and I said, where is Danny? And she said, he's taking a nap, but I'm going to let him sleep. And then he got up, which is what I said in my last show. When you have drank too much, not just being tired, but you have drank or a little both, and you wake up and you miss the dinner, and now it's 12:45 and you're wide awake. You're like, oh fuck, I missed Christmas. Like, what the fuck? So he goes, when I woke up and realized I missed the dinner, I was bummed she didn't wake me up.
yeah.
So I'm like, there it is. Okay, nobody needs to go and drop him off with Jax. Okay, like
No.
he is okay.
He's fine.
And she wasn't covering up anything.
He's fine.
She
Yeah.
literally was just like, I don't need to wake him up and have him be grumpy. Like, he'll be more of a delight tomorrow. I don't care. I'm just going to let him sleep. She wasn't covering up anything. And I'm just like, okay, the third round of this has got to stop. But
The only thing I appreciated from the ad nauseum of that,
Of the trial of Danny.
of the trial of
Bucco.
Danny,
yeah,
Gung, is that that we did, for me as a Les and
Yes.
Jasmine as Les, I did appreciate that, because I realized, it's like, why is she harboring this? What is going on with her? It's not that big of a deal. He apologized twice. You guys are friends. He was clearly blacked out and whatever. And I really, really appreciated his apology. I thought it was truly authentic. I think he's horrified. I don't think he treats women like that. But I realized that what her baggage is that she's sick and tired of men hitting on them and treating lesbians like they don't,
Yes.
that their sexuality doesn't exist.
Or their relationships.
Their
aren't-
relationships aren't real. And I do appreciate that, and I get it. And it's like, what lesbians, the sex isn't real. What you do isn't real. You don't exist for, it's not reality. It's, you exist for anything but that actual thing. That's what she needed to get out. So I did appreciate that.
and I thought that was great too, because this is her 4th reality show she's been on, Jasmine.
Really?
Yes, was like a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader or something like that. So she was on all those shows. Then she was on The Bachelorette with Nick Viall. Then she was on another thing. Then she was on Bachelor in Paradise. And actually in Bachelor in Paradise, that was that really, that thing that kind of shut down Bachelor in Paradise, where the producers thought maybe a girl was so drunk that a hookup may have happened, or
Like
make
in the
out
pool.
that wasn't, and they did the full investigation. And I have to say, listen, I remember covering it. I remember getting some hate because I tried to make light of it, and I've been like, oh my God, but we're never going to get Bachelor in Paradise again, whatever. Anyway, they found, they came back 2 weeks later. The guy has since had some other accusations made about him.
Wow.
So, but now they have some limits on the drinking, which is probably wise.
But it wasn't with Jasmine. She was just on that cast.
But when she was on, she was team the guy.
Okay. Wow.
When she was straight and
Oh.
on a show and didn't
Oh,
want
well,
the show to
that's
end,
interesting.
she made statements of like, she
Jasmine.
seemed into it. I thought
Oh,
they were a
no.
couple. I don't really know that anything went on that
Oh, that's
that shouldn't have
unfortunate.
gone on. But now she would probably, just like I said, I shouldn't have made a light of it in the first place. She might look back on herself and say, I totally have a different perspective now, and I should have never said that. And I'm 5 years older, and and now I am, a lesbian and with a woman, and like, whatever. She could change her mind.
Yeah, well, now knowing that, she also should have given him a lot
little
more
more
grace.
Yeah.
Like a lot more. Like
Yeah.
a lot more. That's your friend. And you
But
knew
I also
but,
think
okay.
she doesn't have a lot going on in the show.
Right,
And I
which-
think the producers probably, let's say, bring it up one more time, bring it up. And,
Right.
And,
Right.
but it just seemed like a
it
weird,
was
like,
too much.
pile on. And then Britney reveals that Jax, this took me like a little bit time to understand, but so she leaves with Cruz from their $2.7 million home and gets a short-term Airbnb lease, like for 3 months. He comes back from the rehab and then says, oh, by the way, I now rented in her opinion, a fuck pad next to Tom Schwartz, so you can come back here. And she's like, well, now I have to pay for this house and the $14,000 a month mortgage because you're not living there. And then on top of it, with their funds together, he was supposed to pay the mortgage, and it's August 15th, and she found out he hasn't paid since May. So it's like 2-3 months behind. And so she's like, I can't, I'm doing everything. And luckily she's a very popular Instagram, like, probably gets brand deals and stuff, but still, it doesn't mean she's going to be there 10 years from now. Like, you got to like save your money.
Yep.
And so that was like, girl, you are in hell. You are in hell.
Hell. That was brutal. She also she's paying his tax debt too. Like,
wait, what part is that? She
said like he didn't pay taxes for 6 years. So then that accrued.
Oh, that's right. I remember that story.
It's like tacked onto the mortgage.
And it's so now she's paying $18,000 a month instead of $8,000 because of his taxes. Like, and listen, I feel you. I've been there with the taxes, okay? But like, that's a living hell.
But some good news. She's casually dating musician Will Gittins, who looks like just a cute guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's got a guitar and a backwood baseball hat. And he's like a
And a
light-skinned
necklace.
black guy with some facial hair.
He's cute.
And very cute.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's nice. Okay, before we end, I have to tell you about another horrific series I saw.
Now we're going to have to watch this. Okay.
That is right up there. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
It's so similar to the other one.
Apples.
There's Apples Don't Fall.
All right.
And then there was the one with Nicole Kidman that was also
Oh, that one was horrific.
where they were also rich people,
where they dance on the beach.
where they dance on the beach all the
like
time.
The Odd Couple? The Perfect Couple.
The perfect couple. So we have another rich white family living seaside, okay?
Okay.
And it's Julianne Moore and Kevin Bacon
Oh.
are some rich people.
Mm.
And Julianne Moore has this young girl named Simone being her everything assistant, down to she takes her phone and sexts the husband for her, along with doing yoga.
Oh,
And if
God.
she's lonely, they sleep in the same bed, and she's just like the everything girl. And I literally, when I started to do it, I'm like, did AI write this thing? It was so bad. The writing was so bad. They had this girl, whatever her name is, that was on White Lotus, and she was on The Perfect Couple. She was the murder victim. She, total wrong side of like, they're sisters. Okay.
Oh.
And even though she is, gorgeous and has light freckles, they just kind of make her hair look a little greasy, give her a little too much eyeliner.
Mm.
Whoa, where did you come from? Why are you wearing black? We're on the island in the Hamptons.
Oh, I see.
And so I'm
Right.
like, I can't take this.
Okay.
And the storyline
Is her name like Charlie?
I can't remember what the sister's name is.
Or
She's
Mikey?
Simone. And then she's like, what are you doing? Like, because the girl's wearing like Lily Pulitzer or whatever. And she's like, what's happened to you? And then of course there's like she's on the boat like going to the island or whatever because she's going to confront her sister because the sister sent her an edible arrangement. And she's like, no, you need to come home and stay with us in Buffalo and take care of our Alzheimer's dad. Or that is not that whole thing. The way they portrayed that was weird. But anyway, you need to come home with us. So she takes the big edible arrangement and goes and takes, 3 modes of transportation to show up at the girls' mansion work in the island. But while she's on it, she wants to smoke. And everyone's like,
sure.
And all the people are like, I can't believe someone smokes cigarettes. And she's like, and the guy's like, you can't smoke in here. And she goes, well, I got to have something else in my mouth then. And then she goes and blows the ferry driver.
No.
And then she works at a falafel place because, she smokes. And even though she's stunning and gorgeous with perfect skin, she can't get any other kind of waitress job that might give her tips. Maybe she could serve a cocktail. Maybe, no, she's making falafels like she's, 16 and sleeping with her married boss because she's just fucked up because she wears black.
Oh, right. Yeah.
She wears black and eyeliner. And I'm like, oh my God. And then the story. So then I get into what made Julianne. Now, Julianne Moore is still a good actress. So whatever her weird part of being this like weird woman, she looks stunning. And I'm like, so where is this going? Like when does this happen here?
Is the whole season out or is it just one episode?
The whole season is out.
Okay.
And so if you want to just
I'm gonna
watch
have to dive
something
in.
with beautiful beachside setting and feel like a rich person watching it, you can. But I'd like people to watch it so that you could then write me and say, Heather, like this sucked.
Okay. Well,
But I did
I'm
look
intrigued.
and it did. Some people said they liked it. They thought it was juicy. They thought it was the same weird thing as the Perfect Couple, where you're like, "Is this a black comedy? Like, wait, this isn't supposed to be taken seriously, right? Like, there's
Is it a
so
murder?
many. There's hints of that, but like not really. No.
Oh, well, if there's no murder.
And then there's this chef in it that like every day she's like, "Here's your smoothie," and the woman goes, "Oh God, not today," and then she's like. And I'm like, so what? You're still getting paid. You drink it yourself. Like, what's the problem? Like,
I mean, and then she goes and is like, I'll
like,
take
sorry,
your
you had to
smoothie.
hand a smoothie from a chef to somebody who didn't want it.
And
Just
then
put
the
it
one
down.
in black who wears black comes in and goes, what's that?
Yeah.
A smoothie? No, I need something else in my mouth.
can I just have black coffee?
Yeah, and
I
your
don't
dick
want
in my
a
mouth.
latte. But then they give her, it's a long weekend. It's Labor Day weekend. She arrives in the black outfit, just looking like the whore, falafel making, dick sucking alcoholic that she is. But then they're like, fine, you can stay the weekend. There's some clothes in the guest house. And then very comfortably is dressed,
It's just norms.
feeling comfortable.
Fine, she's fine.
Feeling great. Hair is now wafty
Sure.
and washed and
So
curled.
something's got to
and-
happen with the other girl where maybe they trade places.
You'll
Maybe when
see.
she leaves,
You'll
she
see.
wears
Spoiler.
black. Okay.
You will see.
Okay. Well,
Anyway, girls,
sounds good.
this is one of our last times together for a few weeks because you are taking your show to the high seas.
We are. Next week, we're going on a Brandy cruise. Gay cruise. Brandy vacations. We're going to Belgium, Ireland, Scotland, and England. And we are taking the show. We're going to do our wrap-up show there. I'm going to do stand-up.
We're going to look for the McDonald roots.
Yep.
Oh, yes. County Cork, my lord.
We're going
Me lassie.
to go look at some old tombstones and be like, let's see if we see even McDonald's here.
Yeah. We're going to do it all.
So you guys,
Yeah.
I hope that you post a lot about this because for the two juicy scoopers that are not following Brandy Howard and Julie Goldman, please follow them on Instagram as well as listening to their podcast and joining their Patreon because that's where they do all their travel stuff and that's like all the funny, like crazy where you really you get to live the life I live when the cameras are away.
I told Brandy this time we're going to do the travel show I've always wanted to do. I got the Meta glasses. We're ready to go.
From Peter. Peter
Peter
recommended them.
the glasses. I got the glasses.
Meta, take a video.
Yeah.
Meta,
We're gonna
Meta.
do zzz, we're gonna do all things. We're gonna do the close up of the Guinness. We're gonna walk into the pub. Like if you haven't been to the Snake and the Poo, then you don't know what you're doing. We're gonna do all of it. I want to do all
Are you
of
gonna
it.
can you do a Shannon Bedore? Top of the morning to you. Constantly.
All of it.
Can you do a Kelly Dodd? Shave your fucking face.
We can do all of it.
Remember when Tamara ran to like jump on her back and attack her
that's
because she
right.
mentioned something about her
Yes.
daughter?
We're watching
Anyway.
all those episodes.
Yeah, you need to watch that on
Yeah.
the plane ride over to prepare.
Yeah, just to
and
get like,
hit maybe some of the same spots.
Maybe we
Yeah.
will hit that one restaurant where they
Yeah.
at that pub where they fought in the bathroom.
Yeah,
Didn't they fight in the bathroom in there?
I don't know, but it's a great, glorious time.
Yes.
And everybody, of course, go to heathermcdonald.net and join my Patreon. I'm going to tell you about how to last 25 years of marriage. The ups, the downs, the good, the bads.
What's the one
the
golden rule
love.
of marriage?
Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. Could it take the long road? I don't know the words, but Shania Twain's assistant fucked her husband. Then she got with that girl's husband. And looks like the four that made it. Don't you remember that?
No.
It was a best friend assistant situation. After that song was recorded, the affair happened.
What?
But in a turn of events, Shania got with that girl's husband.
That's the shit that people just say and don't do. You know what I mean? Like, I'll fuck your brother and all that stuff. And then she did it.
I love it.
That's amazing.
Thank you, girls. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.